What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Here to bring you an NFL discussion video on the Arizona Cardinals' top two guys, their head coach Jonathan Gannon and Kyler Murray, their quarterback, and why I believe they both will be on a hot seat in the 2025 season. Let's get into it, guys. Um, another year, another disappointment for the Cardinals. And look, I'm not a Cardinals fan myself, but before the season started, I put out a video saying the Cardinals would be a sleeper team to win the NFC West, and they were that for most of the year until they weren't. Early November they were 6-4, they were rolling high, and then for some reason they just couldn't find their footing. And I think this offseason that they're safe. Jonathan Gannon, he didn't have Kyler Murray for most of last season, and then Kyler Murray first year back from injury still look like his normal inconsistent self, which I'll get into in a little bit. But he did have spurts and moments that, man, he looked awesome, and then the other half was like, man, is he even a starting quarterback? But we'll get into it, guys. But let's start with the head coach Jonathan Gannon first. And this is something I've been saying for a while, and even in that video I mentioned just a few minutes ago on the sleeper team before the season. Um, the main reason why I didn't believe in them then, and I said it in that video, was Jonathan Gannon's defense. He was a defensive guy. He is a defensive guy. He was brought in to fix the defense. Kyler Murray and Drew, I think Drew Pitzing is his name, the OC. They were brought in, or Pitzing was brought in to pair with Murray to help the offense. But Gannon's defense was his calling card. And I said this a while ago too, as well, as far as Shane Steichen, the Colts OC. The Colts head coach, former OC for the Eagles. At the same time, Gannon was there with the Eagles as the DC. Neither one of those guys have really panned out. I know the Colts and Steichen have been better than the Cardinals, but overall, neither one. Both have their moments. They look lost. Both have their moments where their side of the ball falters, and sometimes I do. I know Richardson is up and down himself, but I do blame Shane Steichen sometimes for his play calling. His play calling to me isn't the greatest, and same for Jonathan Gannon. His defense, his scheme isn't the greatest. I know the talent isn't there, but man, I know you got your job off of the top talented guys, and you knew you wouldn't have that. Um, so just staying on Gannon, as far as the head coaching aspect goes, he's head coaching wise, I have no qualms with it, but just the defense itself. You look at the rankings of the defense, and I'm not a numbers guy, so I'm not gonna go through each one detail by detail. But you look at it, you pull the numbers up, you Google the numbers, whatever how you do it. The Cardinals rankings they're low in everything. They're bottom tier in everything. So it's like, man, like this was your calling card, and then is not transforming. We're the same or similar to what we were before we hired you. And then you look at the offensive side of the ball, that's the same as well. And that's why you got to lump in Kyler Murray, not just Gannon, but Kyler Murray as well should be gone after next season. There were talk this season about preseason about him, not preseason, but before the season, about potentially the Cardinals trading him. I thought that was too early. I did a video on it, but I just thought it was too early. I don't think that made the most sense. But seeing this year play out, seeing that, and this is me a personal attack on Kyler Murray. I want to trip it back and get him for touchdowns. Really, like I love betting on tight ends. In that video I mentioned earlier as well about the sleeper team thing, I thought Trey McBride would submit himself as a top three tight end. And the yardage wise, yeah. Play wise, yeah, he looked the part. But I can't make that case because the touchdowns. He had what, one touchdown all year, two touchdowns, something like that? It's ridiculous. And then I'm looking at the game pre Panthers game when Murray even jokingly said he wants to get McBride more touchdowns. I hammered the Panthers game because the Panthers give up a lot of touchdowns to tight ends. And lo and behold, he didn't score again. So it was like, man, like I just don't get it. You're not feeding your best weapon. I know Harrison Jr. is an elite talent, elite prospect, but your true best weapon right now in the passing game is McBride, and he's getting the yardage. but he's not getting a touchdown. So, but also going to Marvin Harrison. The the Marvin Harrison and Kyler Murray connection just wasn't there. Some weeks it'll be fire, some weeks it'll be non-existent, and that's something. Like I said, is it the quarterback play? Excuse me for that calendar thing popped up. Sorry about that. But is it Kyler Murray and his inconsistency? He's not seeing the field. Is it Marvin Harrison Jr. not being good or not being able to separate and make enough space? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But if you ask me, I said this last year during the draft process. I was a Brian Thomas guy. I love speed. I love speed. Jalen Waddle when he came out, Henry Ruggs, Brian Thomas, the list goes on. If you have speed, I'm loving you. So that's my thing personally. But I know he's a talented player. Made some great plays. Made some had some good sightings. Marvin Harrison Jr. That is. But overall, he hasn't really been that impressive. And obviously he's not going anywhere no time soon. So you got to put it on the quarterback. And like I said, man, Kyler has had spurts where he's amazing. Like throughout his tenure there so far, 5-6 years with Arizona, Kyler have had spurts where like, man, he's top notch, he's top 10, top 12 quarterback in the league. His little tail is balling out. And then the other half of like, man, is he even a starter? And that's something that, you have to kind of fix. And the only way to fix that is rebuilding or retooling. And this 2025 class, another reason why I think Murray won't be gone because of the 2025 class. The QB class isn't strong at all. A lot of guys return, or the guys who are here aren't good, or no, there's not enough depth because they don't pick early enough. Because Shador and Cam Ward should be going early. Will Milroe go back to school? I'm not sure, but even if he doesn't, do you want to go for a prospect or not even a prospect, a project in Jalen Milroe, who not an accurate guy? Probably not. So if I'm Arizona, I'll wait another year. I see what Kyler and see what Jonathan Gannon does. If it doesn't pan out in another NFC West title or at least another playoff berth, then I'm gonna go ahead and go, Arch Manning, see if he comes out next year. I'll go with Nico from Tennessee, Sellers from South Carolina, Nussberger from LSU. The list goes on. Drew Aller from Penn State. There are some decent guys. Daniels from Kansas. The list goes on. There are some guys in next year's class that can make some shake. We'll see how they are next year, but overall, they're a little more deeper than this year's class because this year, outside of Cam and Shador, if Milroe, I'm torn on. The athletic build is there. Obviously, he's gonna be another, most likely. No guarantees, but I don't want to speak in facts. But most likely he'll be just like Anthony Richardson, all athlete, barely quarterback until he learns the quarterback spot and gets more developed and gets more accuracy. Or can't really get accuracy, but just get it. If he gets the perfect scheme, and then we might can see the best of Milroe, maybe year 2, 3, 4. But if he's struggling or not being consistent enough, will a team want to keep him that long as a starting quarterback? And will he even start from day one? So there's a lot of questions out. I'm not really a fan of Milroe long term because the NFL is so what can you do for me now, even for rookies and young guys. So I don't know if Milroe will get that chance right away. Jackson Dart from Ole Miss, no, I'm cool. He's okay, but nothing crazy. So outside of Cam and Shador, Carson Beck, no. Quinn Ewers, inconsistent, no. The tools are there, but no. So this class you can't really move past Kyler unless you go free agency, Sam Darnold or something. So all options to me lean towards Gannon and Kyler Murray lasting at least till next year, but they will be on a hot seat. That seat is burning, it's crackling, it's about to melt. So if they can save themselves by winning the division, Seattle will they bring back Geno? That's a question that's up in the air. 49ers, will they be good next year? Can they be healthy? Probably will. They'll probably retool Probably let go of Debo, Christian if he comes back. So we'll see what happens there. But in the Rams, you get Matthew Stafford 1 more year older, so we'll see what happens there. But overall, yeah, man, like I like the Cardinals' offensive roster. The offense should have been better, but the defense, the calling card of the head coach, should be a lot better. And I know the talent isn't there, but man, I mean, if that's your calling card, you should be able to do it with anybody. And they've had spurts where okay, they're playing up the part, if they're looking nice, and then the rest of the time it's like they're unprepared. They're getting beat by the Panthers. Like the Panthers scoring a lot of points on you is not good. It's not good at all. So I know they've been rolling and been playing also the last couple of weeks, or 4 out of 5 weeks, or 5 out of 6 weeks. But overall, man, you can't let the Panthers score almost 40 on you. That's not good. It's definitely not good. And I love Bryce Young. I loved him before the struggles, after the struggles. But man, that's not good. So, but we'll see what happens, guys. That's it for video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.